living in a gaming house. Lots of things happen in there. Negative things, good things, terrible things, amazing things, happy things, sad things, depressing things. Did I say awful?
I think
said
so.
Awful? Terrible is a word as well. Terrible. We had an elevator in our house. That was amazing. Big old house with five, six?
Five stories.
I've already forgotten.
Anyway, we're going to tell you all about gaming houses because we're gamers, we're streamers, YouTubers. I'm Fruity and this is Cray.
Hey, how you
doing? Or you can call him Nathan.
About time we introduced ourselves. You can call me whatever you want, you know.
I think Cray would like to say that he invented the idea of the click house.
Yes, I definitely did. Alongside my friends, sure. You know, alongside everybody else. And it wasn't me who set it up and all of this. But in the beginning, before the gang got together on Discord, on stream, I was saying, click house, gaming house together. We're all buddies. We're all friends. Let's just live together and have a big old gaming house. And sure, I didn't make it. I didn't build it.
But you were the brilliant mind behind the idea.
I'm the big brain behind it, you know? And by big brain, I mean all I did was shout into people's ears for about, I don't know, weeks on end. Yeah, maybe it was about 3 weeks.
This house, so there was like 5 of us. There was, it was Cray and me, and there was my boyfriend Marcus, otherwise known as Prestige Clips, and then there was Muselk, and then there was Bazagaza. All YouTubers, all doing different things. And we thought, it'd be a good idea to, you know, have a content house together.
Yeah, we all thought it would be a good idea. You know, we talked about doxing on the last stream, but today we're going to be talking about more what it felt like to live together.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, were you nervous or worried or were you excited when moving into the click house?
Mostly excited. I remember driving up and me and Marcus were driving in the car all the way from Melbourne, you know, the 9-hour drive up. And then we thought it was going to be a prank and Elliot was going to be at the door, Muselk, and he was going to be like,
gotcha.
Nah, and there's no house.
Gotcha. That would have been terrible. I was excited. Yeah. I was really excited. Very, very, very nervous. And it was so out of my comfort zone. It was so out of my bubble that it really shocked me. And I'm from Wollongong. And coming up from Wollongong all the way to Sydney.
Up from the hood.
Yeah, into the middle of this rich neighborhood with these beautiful views and these beautiful homes and all of this kind of stuff was very, it was overwhelming for me, definitely. The first couple of nights, I did not sleep at all.
Yeah. So I think it was Elliot and Click Management that put the idea together, that found the house. And we had some other partnerships, but I don't really know. I don't really know the specifics, but either way, in the
we're
end,
the talent.
In the way, we weren't paying for it, so we were like, "Oh yeah, sick! Someone else is paying for it.
Yep.
Let's just go in. Let's have a good time. You know, free rent in this beautiful mansion in Sydney. What could go wrong?
What could ever take us down a dark path?" Yeah, when rent was being covered, and so everybody knows now, rent isn't covered for us. We pay our own rent to live here in Sydney. I have to admit, I didn't realize, I took it for granted. I was like, not paying rent, but, you know, going from living in an apartment where you split it with your partner 2 ways, you know, 50-50 basically, and it's like $600 a week, so you're really only paying $300 a week. You know, it's like, and then when you start paying, you know, a lot of money to live in the middle of Sydney, it's like,
let's get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, my goodness. But yeah, wow, money is difficult. Money makes the world go round.
We got into this house and there's a lot of reservations, and I think you and me probably would have had probably Marcus would have had the most reservation because he had not shown his face before in anything, and he was committing to something that would be filming his face. But you and me were both in relationships, deciding to, well, I didn't leave my relationship, but you left the relationship in the house and you moved into a house with your friends.
I look back on that as a mistake in many ways, but I also see the positives of living in a house with my friends. But I'm so easily washed up and taken up in events and things like that, definitely entering the click house did pull me away from reality, I think, and moving so far from family and friends when I had always been that guy surrounded by them, that was really difficult and really hard, and it strained me, and it had a really big negative impact on my mental health, big time. However, now I'm feeling better now, trying to get on with my life and growing as a person. But in that moment in time, you know, going through a breakup with all your friends and hearing, the thing about living in a clique house is you're surrounded by people, right? And then you know this, but we had even more people in the house all the time for shoots, for shoots, for filming, for
sometimes unannounced, people would come over and you're like, who's here? I have no idea.
And in those moments, I had all these voices coming at me. And a lot of the time, thinking back on it, it was very negative voices. And I think it was because I was in a negative spot and a negative place. But yeah, it stretched me thin. Living with people stretched me very thin. I think I'm meant to live with, you know, a partner or a brother or someone like that.
Say that too, and that's why we're getting out of the Click House 2.0.
Yeah.
I've got a house back in Melbourne I'm going to, and then Cray wants to stay living, you know, probably back in the Gong, back in the hood, or near there.
Yeah.
So originally when we were in the Click House, we did a Click podcast because everyone who's watching or who's listening, sorry, I should say to this, is like, oh, finally a Click podcast is out.
Oh man.
But we did try once.
Yeah.
Well, twice. First time the audio messed up. Yeah. And then the second time we tried to do exactly what the first time did, and it was really bad because we were just reiterating the same
stuff.
And it just did not have the same flow.
Yeah. Doing that podcast, I think, showed how different we all were.
5 people on mics.
Sitting down.
Seems good. And we want to get guests on, but like 3 people, 4 people, guests, that sounds good. But all the time, I don't know how that would have worked.
No, and different styles and creative choices with doing a podcast. I think, you know, me and you, we can have a discussion and we can bring up points and we can say, this is good, this is bad, this is like this. But when it was like 5 people, Baz doesn't want to do a certain style, or he wants to do a certain way, and he doesn't want to reiterate things or repeat topics.
Poor Baz.
Yeah, poor
the
Baz.
First one, he had to, there was a story, so when we had some weird neighbors, all right, in their house.
Neighbors.
We'll tell you more about them later, but Baz's tires got popped or something like that?
Yeah, our neighbors popped our friend's tire for parking out the front of our house.
Yeah, and Baz had to tell this story twice. And he was like egged on to do it, and he just did not know how to deliver it the second time. He's like, no, it was good the first time.
Repeating a story for a podcast, like we do this all in one take, and I don't think we'll ever do 2 takes because I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, you know, so far we're winging it. We're doing pretty well. But yeah, and then Elliot is someone who likes structure. He likes purpose, and he likes to be straight to the point, and he likes to get it over and done with. I noticed that about Elliot's personality. He likes to be in and then out. He doesn't like to have the fuzz or the noise. He likes you to make your point and then move on and have it structured so everybody is speaking the exact same amount. That's kind of how I see him. You know, it's kind of it's kind of like that person who wants to plan out their day almost perfectly. And that doesn't really go well with me. But then the other side of Elliot's personality is he's so maddening and erratic, I think. He's like a duality.
I wouldn't say he's structured at all. No.
but when it comes to that like thing.
It was that, yeah. So that's why that never eventuated. But hey, you've got the All-In podcast. You know, you should follow and then
follow it. Yeah, we've been told to sell our souls. We've been told we've been ordered.
Okay, let's get to the juicy parts.
Okay.
What are the worst parts of living with a bunch of your friends, YouTubers? What sucks about living with other YouTubers?
Noise.
Excuse me? Coming from you?
Noise, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean noise as in more just constant discussion about topics that really started to drive me insane. And I'm someone who really likes to talk. You know that. I love to talk and I like to go through things and I like to hear how people are feeling. But at the same time, with that many people, with so many different opinions and so many like creative differences, it really started to make me think like, what are we kind of like doing? Like what kind of shoots? What is Click? What is this group? Stuff like that really started to muddy the water for me. It started to get like quite crazy. And then on top of that, different sleep schedules. That was a big thing for me. you know, Elliot would be up all night and I'm trying to sleep and I can hear Elliot yelling, and then I'm up all day and then I'm yelling, and say you've had a big night, you're trying to sleep, and I am loud.
I'm going to
so
paint a
loud.
picture. You know, you go to bed next to your partner, you had a nice little talk before you go to bed, you have nice slumber, and you're like, finally, after a hard day's work, I get to have a full sleep. And then in the morning,
Boom,
then
boom,
suddenly
boom, boom.
you're woken up way earlier than
Hi
you
guys,
wanted
I'm
to.
Crayator. Welcome back into my channel. Yeah.
There's a lot of desk slamming. You
Yeah.
slam your desk so much.
I love
It's like,
slamming my desk.
no, we hated you for that. We
Yeah,
were like,
good,
does he
good,
have
good.
to really slam his
I
desk
have
one
to.
more
It's
time?
part of it. I have to slam it. There is no choice. I have to yell. That's one thing people don't understand. I got to yell. It's
But
not
of
a
course, you
choice.
can't say anything about it because this is a content house. Everyone wants to make content. It should be like that. So, like,
Yeah.
you can't complain, but you know, we bitched about you behind your back. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
But
That's
also, not just you, but there was also Elliot was worse though.
Yeah.
Because he would swear so much. He would.
You don't like swearing. You're more of a, you know, you're like pious, you know.
Well,
like,
no, but like, it's not like I want to hear like at 1 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fucking cunt! Why did you fucking die?
You can't say
little
that on the
bitch.
podcast,
I-
Rudy.
what do you
My
mean?
god! But yeah, no, you
Yeah.
are right. And it was more like when I was raging and when I was
It was
yelling.
funny because you were on stream when he rages. Because
It's
he's
not on stream.
recording. He's recording his videos. It's not on anything. It's not for any reason.
Real
he was
rage.
just pissed off that he was wasting time.
Yeah.
Because he died or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Can't relate, but like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I could not
Yeah.
live with him. I think he'd be much better now, but
I think so too. Yeah.
But dude.
But energy, and it's all about energy and like aura as well. I'm not very spiritual, you know. I used to not believe in auras or people's energies and stuff. But oh my goodness, like when somebody was down in the house, everyone comes down with them. You pull and you grab and you scratch and you. Maybe I think I'm very easily influenced by others. But say we were sitting on the couch and you're telling me that you had a bad day on stream or something like that. That just and reeks and just gets me in the dumps immediately. That kind of stuff happens so much to me. If I go out tomorrow and I'm at a pub and someone tells me about how miserable their life is, my life is miserable. You know, my life is miserable. So it's like, it was constant for me, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then going through other things was just so intense.
Yeah, the emotional aura. It is definitely an aura of when someone walks in a room in a certain way, you definitely feel that straight away. And, you know, we don't get enough sunlight, gamers, so we're probably, you know,
Hey, I'm
sadder.
looking pretty tanned.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
now.
looking good. Yeah, now. A little sunburnt.
But yeah, no, we were not the most happiest of bunch, and we were butting heads a lot, I guess. So I guess that sort of aura came by. I know there was times where I just didn't want to see people.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
course.
lie.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever not wanted to see you, but yeah, I was just avoiding people
Yeah.
because of that energy that you'd have to take care of yourself in a certain way.
Yeah, for me in the first ClickHouse, it was such an amazing experience in so many different ways. But if somebody asked me, was I happy? It would probably be a no from me. But I look back on the positives and the good times more than the negative.
Oh, yeah, there's
honestly.
some good times.
was
The
some-
vlogs we filmed.
Oh my God. And
were
our
good.
videos and
Amazing.
the response and how Click just exploded and
Everyone
it was
really
so
liked.
intense, and the popularity, not being able to walk down the street without getting recognized was so humbling and so like, wow, I've made it. There was a real feeling of like, wow, I have made it. That's how I felt.
Do you remember the first party we had at the
No, not
house?
really.
When someone from a certain live streaming platform, a staff member, got super drunk and was bouncing on the trampoline and tackling people. That one.
Yeah.
And where that other guy collapsed on the couch and there was like toilet paper all over him.
Oh,
This is also
yeah.
the party that Ilsa met. Landon met
Oh,
Ilsa.
it's so
yeah,
cute.
yeah, it was a great time.
That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of things were formed in a lot of parties, a lot of relationships formed.
Well, that was like our one and only party. We weren't very good at throwing many parties, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
we only had
with,
like another
with
2.
such a big house. I think we've done more parties here.
Yeah,
We've done
right.
3 in Clickhouse 2.0, and I don't remember what we did back then.
I was talking to someone recently about how we are portrayed online, and somebody was telling me, you always look so happy and you always look so jolly and like you're having the best time and that you're having one night stands and you're partying and you're traveling and stuff like that. And I was like, that's all just for the Instagram and Twitter. Like, that's just...
We ain't going to film the sad, depressing shit. We ain't going to film our fights or anything.
Hell no. Like, there were arguments. There were, like, disagreements. There's
oh, my God.
meetings.
The rubbish.
Oh, rubbish was a big one for everyone.
Everyone.
But I have to admit, I was so messy. I'm
I'm
finally
glad
just going
you
to
say
say
that.
it's about time I admitted it. I was
Hallelujah.
I was
Woo!
so messy, especially from me with like, I think for me it was like small like objects that you just find, like a yogurt cup, or you'll see like a shirt or underwear or socks or shirts everywhere, or like a wet towel in the corner because I've come up the stairs and dried myself off and gone, you know, I mean...
I'm the same. I leave things too, but I think you're a little bit worse with food, leaving it around.
Yeah.
And I think I clean up a bit more after myself than
Yeah.
you do. But I remember there was the Uber Eats bag mountain that
Oh,
we
the
had.
mountain.
Because 4 boys living in a
Growing
house,
boys.
they were just bloody ordering Uber Eats.
I
all
was
the
ordering
time.
Uber Eats 3 times a day.
Do you want to tell them? You want to tell them how much you spent in a year?
So it's upwards of 30 grand
Yeah, in a year.
in a year that I spent on Uber Eats.
Yep.
And it's weird because I'm going to make an excuse.
Don't
I'm going to make an
excuse.
excuse. Okay, you
Someone
ready?
there with a low-paying job is like, oh, my, you
I
son
am
of a
so
bitch."
sorry. I know it sounds so stupid, but you know, like I'm a busy man. I don't really want to cook for myself. At the time, I was going through some things, you know.
But if you did,
Yeah.
couldn't you just order one bigger Uber Eats and then eat it through the day and put it in the fridge or something like that? Why do you
Yeah,
have to
but
get...
heated up food just ain't the
Oh
same,
my
Fruity.
God.
Heated up food, it just ain't the same. It's just not it, you know?
There was a time in which someone kept leaving chicken in the recycling
Ah, yeah,
bags,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was a pretty sore point for me and for Elliot. Elliot just liked to blame everyone for when anything was messy, but I'm pretty sure that one was just on Baz. There was
Yeah.
also the fruit flies that happened, and
that was because of the sink. It wasn't cleaned.
was it? Or
Yeah.
was it because of that rice?
Oh, the rice that I left out.
It was you!
Yeah. The rice was me. But then we never actually washed the sink, which we should have done
Craig,
better.
I remember that rice bag there, and the
it was
flies were
crazy.
forming around it. And you know what he did with it? He didn't take it like into the bin outside. He took it onto the balcony just outside the kitchen.
Me?
Yeah,
Because I had to spray it. I didn't want to
Take
put.
it,
I didn't want to put flies into the garbage, you know, because then the
what
flies
do you mean?
they
There's
eat the garbage.
already flies in the garbage.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe I
Instead,
should
there
have
was
thought of
just
that. I
this-
should have
this
thought of that.
flies
Oh
around.
my goodness, I should have thought of that. Because I thought, yeah, I'll spray them and I'll kill them. Kill the little flies because they're annoying me.
And then you'd keep the rice?
No, well, I'm hungry, aren't I? You know, I'm starving. I've spent so much money
But
on
you don't want to
Uber
cook
Eats.
for yourself.
Oh, hell no. No, that's why it was a packet of rice. So it's just easy, you know? It's just easy.
We ended up having to organize like a weekly bin person,
Mm.
but even then that was actually a really good solution. I think that was Elliot's idea.
It was.
But Marcus did not want to have anything to do with it. He
No.
He opted out of that so
And
fast.
neither did I in the beginning. And then I did see the positives to it.
Well, you actually did a week. Marcus was like, "I'm taking all my rubbish upstairs."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
being
He was like, I'm going to live alone as a
like-
hermit.
Yeah.
Stay away from me. Yeah. Yeah. Differences in how people do things, I guess, you know?
I
Yeah.
think that was one of the sorest points we had was just cleaning.
Yeah,
in-
cleaning.
in-
Yeah. And because, you know, again, it is an excuse, but it's also just how you feel about being a YouTuber and streamer. It's hard to find time,
It
even
is
though
not
you do.
hard to find.
No. It's hard to find time in the sense that that's how you feel. Now, looking back on it, you've always got time to clean. You've always got time to look after yourself. You've always got time to see family. You've always got time to see loved ones, your partner, everyone. You always have time. People like to make that excuse.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I just remember thinking, I've got no time. I've got to be successful. Everybody else is grinding harder than me. I want material value, money. I need success. Go, go, go. More. Be funnier on videos. There was one discussion we had where I think it was Baz, maybe you or Elliot. We were talking, we're saying how, you know, we don't really watch our own videos. I watched them all, and I would see, you know, if I was funny or if I was into it. And you know how just recently I said in one of our videos, you can just tell that I'm not there. You know, I like to see how I'm portrayed in videos. And I just remember being so critical of myself during those times. During the first ClickHouse, I was always so stressed and so critical. I think I lied to a lot of people. I was like, oh, you know, it's all dandy, blah, 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 this, and I don't want that, and I want this, and I'm happy, and I'm go lucky, I'm Crayator, you know, but Cray was okay, but Nathan wasn't. I guess that's the way to put it, you know?
I think one of the good parts about it was that when someone was grinding hard in the house, you'd feel motivated to grind hard.
Yes, that
Slightly
was a big
stressed,
positive.
but motivated. Like when there was like a Fortnite update night and Elliot was going at it, I'm just like, maybe I should do something too. And I gave it a shot. Honestly, it wasn't for me, and I probably shouldn't have been doing it, but like I gave it a shot, and I learned a lot from it. And because I had that kind of like good work hard energy around me, I was like, I honestly worked a little bit harder with that. Like even in this house, when I hear Baz streaming, I'm like, oh, maybe I should do
I get that too.
Yeah. So that's like a part where gaming houses really come into play. But I think like something that we didn't do a lot of is much content together as much as we should have. Because I think the only time we did videos is like once a week. We did those like more structured videos, not as like natural like ones that. But we had my vlogs, which I did sometimes, but we didn't really like take advantage of the fact. Mostly we were in our room doing our own content, which is what is the point of that? You might as well live in separate houses and come together for the shoots.
Yeah, honestly, that's been affecting me as this house slowly comes to an end. That's been something that has really upset me recently as well, is now looking back on it, we never really took advantage of us as a group. And you see how much people want this involvement.
Because it looks fun from the outside. You see pranks, you see like fun things. You're like, oh man, they look like they're having fun all the time, even if you just see a snippet. Yeah, people want to see it.
But your lounge room streams, you know, the FastV streams and stuff like that, they're just so good. And just recently, me and Baz were chilling by the pool for the first time forever, listening to music, chilling out. And I was like, you know, for the first time in this house, I thought to myself, man, I don't want to leave. I was like, I want the lounge room streams. I'm loving this podcast, and I'm just seeing so many of the benefits, and it's like helping me. And I'm just like, now I don't want to move. You know, now it's like, oh man, like we really did squander this opportunity to be with one another. And I really, you know, and I know like you've got a house and Baz wants to do his own thing. But sometimes we don't look at the positives in our life and we surround ourselves with negatives. And I'm guilty of that. But I'm really trying to turn a leaf and look towards positives and look towards what is meaningful for me. And yeah, I'm just like, man, this house is so amazing. We live in such a beautiful spot. And when we walked up to that cafe the other day, why can't I do that in between my streams?
I guess so. And it's even just like pulling out a camera and like we're all... like people who like to be on a camera or behind the camera when it comes to like Baz and that. So why aren't we not doing more of that? What gets in the way of doing that, of making more content together? Because let's be real, content with a group or even just two people is way more interesting than
10
one
times
person
better.
alone.
10 times better. Always.
And
in every situation.
Every creator comes across that they're like, it's so easy to grind out solo content, but man, my group content's so much better. And then when you have group content, it's like, whose channel does it go on? Because we're all contributing. And then there's that type of like issue that comes up, which makes it more difficult. Yeah.
And we also don't look at the positives and like negatives of, you know, now that we're all moving and separating from one another, what scares me is, like you can chill in Discord and you can like do that, but there's such a power behind the social aspect of physically being with one another, the cooking streams, the lounge room streams. And you know me, I'm not going to set those things up. It's just, maybe I should pull my thumb out of my ass and go and do it, you know? But yeah, having Baz behind a camera in person, vlogging us doing just wacky, stupid things, like even a day at the beach, you know, it's just like people just eat it up. They love it. And we really...
It's what I prefer to watch too. I prefer to watch a
big
group
time.
of people or people interacting with
The
others.
sidemen do it so well. It's just the sidemen just doing the sidemen. You know, they just... the sidemen are another gaming group who go out and they give each other little challenges, and they seem to just have this natural forming style to their video where it just rolls off the tongue. It's just them doing them, you know, and I wish we did that more because...
Yeah.
We get put on Reddit the minute we do a lounge room stream that's funny. You know, we have people over like Pi, Alithia, Fasfi.
I think something I'd like to talk about is like Click videos in another podcast and like the behind the scenes of Click. But I think we're going to like keep it focused on the Click house itself.
Yep.
And living here. And I have to bring up something.
Yep.
And that is some of the fights that happened.
Yeah.
In the Click house.
Which ones? Do you want to hint?
Cray looks nervous right now.
Yeah, hit me with them.
Well, there was quite a few fights that happened. I don't know if you could guess who was the main two people, but it was me and Elliot. He would agree. We were both fighting.
He would
Elliot
agree.
can never be wrong.
Oh, my heart is actually racing.
Mine
heart
is true.
racing.
Mine is true. Elliot can never be wrong, and I could be stubborn too. And
You are stubborn. Yes. You have this face that comes over you. I call it your Karen face. You go all Karen.
I am not a Karen.
You do. You're such a Karen. Oh my God. You are a Karen. I'm sorry. You get like your Karen face. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh.
What does my
God.
Karen face look like?
I don't know. You can't do it. You have to be in the moment. I'm telling you. Next time you're doing it at a meeting or something, or we have an argument, I'll be like, you're pulling the Karen face. I'm telling you. But yeah, fights. Don't like them. Don't like disagreements. Don't like arguments.
We had quite a few about how Click would run, or about how like things in the house would happen and how things were organized, and that is probably the most mentally jarring point of being in a house together. And I don't know how much I want to get into it. I don't know how much I want to relive it. I've mostly like bloody tuned out.
You let go of
fights.
it, yeah, or at least you try.
Yeah. My memory's been like, no, you don't want to keep that. That was a bad experience. But oh my God.
Yeah, fights. I don't like them. I don't want to be a part of them. I don't want to see them. I want to have a discussion. I want to talk. And you know, one thing that I did fairly well is I don't think I ever really got in a fight. Did I?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I ever got in like a really big argument. I think I'm pretty good at sensing when someone's super coming for me. And I know it sounds very like kind of beta or whatever word you want to use, but I pull back in those situations. If it's calm, cool and collected or emotional, I'm good. You know, I'll get emotional talking to people. I'll start crying and I'll just be like, man, this sucks because of you did this and this happened and this is the way it went and stuff like that.
You, Baz and Marcus are the same. I think it was mostly me and Elliot, and it's honestly now even some little things we just fight about immediately. It's kind of an unhealthy relationship, not gonna lie. But see, that's some of the stressful parts, I suppose, was the disagreements we had, and that ended up causing a bit of a rift that I am sad that
I don't like that rift at all.
I don't like the rift, and I wish we could fix it, but it ended up being, you know.
Well, maybe we can get it back. I think so. I think we can get our relationships back to what they once were.
I think so, but it needs both parties to want to fix it. So.
Yeah, and you know me, like, you know, trying to connect back with my family, and I ghosted a lot of people, stuff like that. And I ghost friends, family, loved ones a lot. But now I see the power of friendship. I see the power of true love and family. And I want my relationship with Click management and everyone who works at the office and everyone to be so good, so tight. But
I think it's something that can be fixed. But we're not going to lie, living in a house together does cause a lot of strain on relationships. People would know. People listening would know. I've moved in with my best friend and we've kind of drifted apart because of that. It does happen. Living together brings a stress that you don't expect to happen. You think it's super cool.
I wasn't ready.
Particularly in our situation, like that's super cool, but it ended up making some rifts that maybe we'll talk about more later. But I thought I would make it less serious, take it back a bit. And do you remember something that bonded all of us was our hatred of our neighbors?
I hated those neighbors. And if you're watching this and you're my neighbor from my old address, I hate you, dude. I don't mean like I dislike you. You were so annoying. You're such a rich, pompous douchebag.
Oh, dude. They wouldn't fix anything. We had several problems. They wouldn't fix it. They wouldn't listen
Don't
to
even
it.
get me started.
No,
Popping my
get me
friend's
started.
tire. Popping my friend's tire. How dare you?
That was so them. We don't know for sure, but that was so them.
It was them. We asked for their camera footage. No, we don't have it. The cameras are off. No, they're not. You're and oh my God. And the bins. Like, yes, we were messy. Okay. But one garbage bag once was left outside of the actual bin. I'll never forget this. They took a photo of it and they sent it. And one of their photos was warranted. I was like, oh my God, that's messy.
Yeah.
I was like, gross. We had like a pizza box and all this kind of stuff in our garage. But also, that's my property. Don't walk onto my property and take a photo of something on my land in my location. Don't do that. That was on my land.
Pretty sure they went into the garage
They did.
around the corner
They
to
did,
see
around
the
the
pizza
corner.
boxes.
Yeah, our front door. No. What is with some of you rich people and entitlement?
So
I'm
there's
sorry.
a few. I'm gonna get a few people confused, but we had two main neighbors that complained about us, and then our landlord that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So all of the stories in my mind combined as one single devil entity of
Yeah.
the combination of the people I hated living there, and they just tried to. They would be like, we want you to stay because we like having your money, but we don't, because when we were leaving the house, we were like, they wanted us to stay because it was like good money for them. But they also wouldn't recommend us to any other like rental things. They wouldn't write any approval.
Yeah, because they don't want to give you the time of day.
No, because they didn't want us to leave.
Yeah, to go. Yeah.
They're like, you're good tenants, but we ain't going to tell anyone else that, so you stay. Bastards.
No, they secretly loved us being there.
Well, yeah, because we're giving them money. Yeah,
exactly. And we weren't bad
Who
tenants.
cares if the sink wasn't working?
exactly.
You're not going to fix it. It's your house. It's your property. The
Oh my God,
the
that
people who moved
fucking
in.
sink. I hated that thing. I hated that sink. It's meant to have cold water come out of the tap, and it stayed the same for a year, and I want me cold glass of water. Oh my God. I hated that tap.
I even called the company that had like the thing on, and they were like, we need to get landlord's approval. And I'm like, come on, all you have to do is say yes and we can get fixed. But they never did, the bastards. And the
Yeah.
people who moved in after, because we're looking to find new tenants for this place, the people who moved into the place that we were at,
They were
the Click
here.
House, they were looking at this house to see, and they were like, they were saying how much they hated the person too. So it's not just us.
Yeah, it's not
and
just
our
us.
messiness. They
Hey.
seemed pretty clean, neat people too. So
And just the vibe. To me, it's all about feeling. It's all about vibe. When I saw our neighbors, driving in his Lambo and stuff, maybe it's a little bit of tall poppy syndrome, which is where you just despise people's success for the sake of it because they're successful.
Yeah.
I did have a little bit of that, but I had it because it's like Baz parking in the front, you can drive past him.
And the thing
Oh my
is that they
God.
would drive in front of our doorway all the time that we
Exactly.
couldn't get out from the garage.
Exactly.
We never drove in front of their garage. They drove in front of our garage.
Exactly.
How is that fair? They had builders, workers all the time parked there.
Oh my
we always
God.
had to
And-
ask them.
And we never complained about the road work or anything like that. Like that house that was next to us.
Yeah, they had a
all
lot
this-
of work.
They had a lot of work, so much noise. And you are allowed to complain.
Oh, and she took forever. When
Yeah.
I rang her doorbell to be like, move your freaking thing, she took forever.
She purposely came
to
up
to
slow.
Botox her
They
lips.
all did. They all
you
did.
know,
They
to-
all did.
Buddy,
You know.
put on some high heels to
Oh.
buddy say, why do you need high heels to answer the door? Why?
Just us, Fruity. You don't get it. You don't get
I
it.
cannot relate.
So much of that, it just ruined me. I just that kind of stuff. And
I have to say it kind of bonded us in a way, but
stuff bonded
each
us.
time was, particularly when we moved out and the amount of complaints these guys had being like, where's our rug? And then
what rug? What rug?
we ain't stealing your rug,
I'm not
man.
taking your $20
But
rug.
the thing
Like-
is, it looks exactly like the rug in your room,
does.
which I saw you buy at IKEA, so that's
Yeah.
fine. I know
I
you're legit. But
I'll never forget when I think it was Elliot and Liv and everyone
Yeah.
came into my room. They were like, "Oh my God, that's the missing rug." I was like, "Don't you accuse me of stealing a rug?"
yeah, Elliot thinks these are the
These
missing
mic-
podcast mics from
Yeah,
the
it's like
Clickhouse.
3 missing microphones, and Elliot thought that these were them. It's like, mate, we're not thieves, you know.
We can get it. That
We can
Shout
get
out
some
to
good
Road.
stuff
We
too.
can get
Shout out to
some.
Road. Thank you, Road. Thank you. Appreciate you, Road.
I
Seriously.
want to bring out a bad habit that
Yeah.
someone in the house had, and that was walking in on you all the time. Do you remember Elliot walking in on you a lot?
Or streaming and stuff, or
Just in general, he would always walk in on you and no one else. And I was worried that one time he was going to walk in on you in an inappropriate time. Did he ever do that?
not knocking,
Not knocking and just walk in.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm a pretty open book, but yeah, I do want my door knocked on.
Just in case.
Honestly, to be real with you, it didn't really bother me. There were a few times where I'd hear my door opening and I'd be
Because I opened the door too. Like your room
Yeah.
was the one that people would just walk into.
yeah, and I'd put my big green screen if I was watching something on the computer that
Did
maybe
you really?
yeah, I'd put my green screen up so just in case you just see the outline shadow of me just and you wouldn't really be able to make it out.
I know something that did annoy you though was another personal space issue that Elliot had was with you and your food. It was just happened to you when you had a delicious meal because Elliot was dieting at the time.
Oh, he hovers over you?
Yeah.
Hovering.
He hovers.
I
He
hate
was like
hovering.
he was smelling
Yeah.
your food all up
I
in there.
hate hovering of any kind. Again, I'm open, I'm pretty damn extroverted, but I do like my personal space. I'm actually not much of a hugger. I know you're not, but sometimes I'll be like, I want to hug Fruity and I'll give you a hug. I want to hug Baz. I want to hug Elliot. I want to hug a friend. I want to hug Marcus. But then other times, just in general, especially with, while I'm doing something, I don't like to be touched, believe it or not. I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be hovered.
To be fair, I don't think anyone likes their food being smelled that closely. His
Yeah.
nose was like in your
his nose
pasta.
was like his nose was pushed up against it. Yeah. What about positives though? Like what were some really great moments for you?
Honestly, my vlogs were my favorite part of
Yeah.
it. I remember the one time I vlogged pranked Bazza
Mm-hmm.
because I hadn't really done him. I wasn't that comfortable with Baz yet, but I filled his room up with bubble wrap and he was like so excited and he was
he
like,
was.
finally, if this is how it's going to be like, I'm going to prank you back. And I really appreciated that moment. I appreciated when I was Elliot's assistant for the day. I think that was a really
That's
fun
cool.
vlog. And then when we found out that Emma B was pregnant, who is
That was really cool.
one of the founders of Click, and and the fact that you didn't know and didn't believe it, I
didn't
liked
believe it.
capturing those moments, those actual pure moments.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite parts.
For me, the biggest positive was friendship. I know that sounds a little corny, a little whack, but for me, it was friendship. It was friendship in the way that you have those moments where it's no longer about business. So we'd be at a shoot and we'd be sitting and waiting to play paintball or to play dodgeball. And there were these moments where you were vlogging and, where we're just kind of like talking more like humans rather than business partners. And that's what I'm going to miss most of all. And why I'm so sad that we have to leave this house. I really don't want to leave now. It's like, I'm just going to miss it so much. And we just squandered so many of our actual true friendship moments that now I'm just like, man.
I don't know. We had a lot of time together. I don't think
Yeah.
we squandered anything. We went to the gym together.
We did.
Well, you, me, Marcus, and Baz did, and we watched movies together. I mean, I wasn't as much part of it as you, Baz, and Marcus, but you guys got along so well.
We did.
And watched so many things and documentaries and all that sort of
I just
thing.
wish we did more. I know that sounds...
You watched a lot.
Yeah.
I would say that
Yeah.
you maxed out your time in like getting to know people.
Yeah. I did really try to get to know people, especially Marcus. For me, in the Click House, love Baz, best friend. Love you, best friend. Love Elliot, best friend. Love all you guys. But
Can't
for
have
me...
that many best friends.
Yeah, I got a lot of best friends. But Marcus for me was something special, to be honest with you. Marcus helped me become a better man. Marcus, I wish I'd listened to him more when he was telling me about my personal relationships with people. I wish I listened to Marcus more. And for some reason, in the beginning, I never listened to Marcus. And honestly, I didn't really listen to you or Baz. And I only really listened to Elliot. I don't know why, but I think sometimes I am attracted to people like who have a lot of success. And if they tell me to do something, I would have done it. Sorry, that's the language I want to use. I would have done it. Now I look back and I feel like I'm growing a lot in the last like couple of weeks, especially the last 3 months. I'm growing a lot and I'm becoming better. But I just shake my head sometimes at that little boy who didn't really listen to his instinct and didn't listen to his feelings and, just followed his head more than anything else. And for me, Marcus was a big thing for me. Marcus's wisdom and just like, yeah. And me and Marcus are so alike in so many different ways.
You guys would be great friends. Like,
Yeah.
To your older, I'll make sure of that. Me and Marcus personally got closer. Even if it was resenting certain things you guys did, it brought us closer, being the relationship in the house. And I think personally I became more patient. Not at the beginning, I was a very impatient person, but I think because of being in the house, I became definitely patient and more outgoing because, you're forced to see people. I'm still very impatient and shy, but I improved slightly. So I'm like, So I guess like maybe we should kind of wrap it up, even though I think we missed a lot of things and I wanted to say a lot more. But this future podcast time. Was this gaming house worth it?
I'm going to say, for me, this is going to shock you. I'm going to say no.
It wasn't worth it?
I'm going to say no. More for the emotional side and kind of how I changed as a person during that time. But I will say this house here was worth it for me. This house that we're in now, even though we focus so much on the negatives of this house, ClickHouse 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, this was worth it. Being here with you guys, with you, Baz and Marcus, this for me was worth it. I've learned so much about myself here. In the other house, I feel like I changed for the worst, not for the best. Even though there were many positive times, great times, great
but there's
experiences.
a reason we had to move out is because there was a lot of negative things about the landlords and everything like that we just had to.
It was just way too stressful.
Yeah.
And I do regret moving into the Click House. And a lot of it is on me. I'm not pointing any fingers. A lot of it is on me. I just don't think I was ready. It's weird now. Now I feel as if I'm becoming ready. Like I would have been ready to do such a huge thing, but I didn't realize how big of a deal it was going to be for me mentally.
It's fair enough. We lived in a house with people coming in all the time, bringing a lot of stuff in too. Yeah. We had so much like crap from Click stuff. It's like, oh my God, we're living in this like pit of mess and lots of people are just coming in whenever, which is fine for most of it. But sometimes that can be kind of stressful to sleep and work in the same area so closely. I think it was super worth it. I love this house a lot more. And I wonder if that is because we don't have to do shoots here or anything like that. I wonder if that helps.
This feels like more like a home to me.
But it is also just, more of a home. It's definitely a nicer feeling house, even though it's not worth as much as the other one. But for me, I'm kind of sad that you said that you regretted living in that. But I guess like from your perspective, even if you just moved closer and you were just part of the Click shoots, that might have been the way to go.
I don't regret Click. I should make that clear so everyone knows. I don't regret Click. I regret living in the Click house.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for subscribing to the All In podcast on YouTube and liking the video. We're going to read out some YouTube comments. We'll read out anything. So literally write anything. We'll read it out. This is from Funny Ninja, I think. Funny Ninja.
Yeah, Funny Ninja.
This is my favorite podcast by far and look forward to it every Thursday. I'm in America. Keep up the fantastic work with and Cray, keep working on bettering your relationships. You got this.
Oh, wow. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. We got one from Gala Valentine Kyleton. I have never really been a fan of podcasts, but I swear that this one is something completely else. Did I read that right? Yeah, I absolutely love it. Hey, thank you, Gala. Gala?
Make sure to leave a comment.
Gaia. I'm sorry, Gaia.
And we might read it out in the next episode.
Oh my God. Sorry. We might reread your, oh God.
No, that was great.
Oh, jeez.
All right. That was it for the Click House episode that we'd been hyping up.
A little bit depressing, a little bit upsetting, a little sad, but hey, there were a lot of good moments, a lot of good times.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Be all in.